Hello everyone, welcome to a design review for part of our version 15 sequence. This one is about the so-called modern package format. So, let's take a look at what we figured out.
All right. So we had a previous design review for this in the summertime, and this is my summary of it. We got agreement from you
Yeah, I
on the
remember.
basic design.
I remember. So let's do
with
the
some
basic
caveats
review.
about names, and that's one of the main things I want to discuss today.
Okay,
Some names.
let's look at the basic review
Okay.
of the package format. First item. There. Yeah, let's look at it.
Yeah, fine. So, the basic idea is to make it easier to write packages whose implementation is split across multiple files.
Yep.
And every symbol in the package is in one of three, what we could call scopes. There's symbols that are exported from the package. They're in the main package context. There's symbols that are visible to all files within the package, but not outside the package. We call that package scope. And then every file has a file-specific private context, and every symbol that's neither package export or package scope is in that context. Right. And as you know, we have a two-pass. We need a two-pass reading of files to make all this stuff work. But the core function in the new modern package format is this package load function, which is the thing that does the two-pass read and enables all this magic. It's like a super function for loading packages. It can load all sorts of packages, and basically any package that gets loaded with package load can take advantage of modern package format features.
Even what's that MX-based packages? What's that last comment there?
That is, well, it's kind of per internal. Wolfram developers have been using a function called load Wolfram language code for years to load their packages that are shipped as MX files. And as an undocumented internal function, it's used by dozens of packages in the system to support MX file loading. It basically allows you to have either source files or MX files or both. And this function, package load, now takes over the functionality of load Wolfram language code. So that simplifies loader files for a lot of internal Wolfram stuff.
Okay.
It's not really relevant.
Let's look at the four functions, like the four function calculators of old.
All right. So package load, that's the main function. This is what every package calls to load its own code, right? This is not similar to get or needs, right? It does not mean go out and find that package and load it. It means take all the files around this file and load them.
What does around mean?
It means in that same directory or subdirectories up to, I think it's 3
this sounds a little bit more like package initialize or package start. I hate to use package start, but package load seems a little misleading.
Well, one of the names to agree on is this one, and this is probably one of the more controversial ones. But honestly, the more I've been using this obviously for a long time, and I think it works nicely as the thing. It does load the package, right? That is what it does.
Okay, let's go on here, and then we'll come back to that.
Anyway, so that's package load. And then there's package export, which creates symbols in the public context of the package. Package scope, which creates symbols in this shared context.
I don't like that name. I don't think it goes well. I mean, package export is a noun verb. Package scope is a noun.
Yeah.
Well,
there is a little bit of non-parallel.
As in, the exports from this country, right? It isn't a noun. It can be read as noun verb, but it can also be read as noun, and that's how it's intended in this case.
But and there's package import, which is the thing that it's like enhanced version of needs. That's the thing.
Which is not parallel to package export.
Well,
Can I make a suggestion that might help? Maybe it should be package exported, ED, package scoped. See what I'm saying? Yeah.
On the other hand, I mean, these two, package export and package scope, they declare scopes of symbols. So they should probably both have the word scope in it, like export scope and package scope.
Well, package import does something completely different.
Yes.
It does. these four functions all start with the word package, and they're pretty different. Package load is quite different from all of them.
Okay, let's see a basic
but-
example here.
I want to point out that the names package export, package scope, package import have been used for 20 years.
I
for
don't care.
all the
I don't
implementations.
think they're very good names. Let's see
All
what
right,
we
anyway,
can
so
do.
here's a trivial example. You have two files. Here's the loader file. It just calls package load foo. And this is the one place where the context of your package is named, right? You don't actually have to name your context anywhere. So if I change that to package load foobar, then this package would be called foobar, right? That
How
would
does
be
it
its
know
name.
where? I don't understand. Where is that package load command?
That's in one of the files of your package, which is perhaps called init.wl. So that's what
What do
we
you mean
call
perhaps
the loader
called
file.
that? I mean, doesn't it look for a particular file?
There's a context of file name mapping, as you know, that takes the user's type needs foo, right? And there's magic in the kernel, which is mostly the job of the package manager now, to map that context to a file. And that mapping happens according to the standard rules of
I understand,
context
but
of
where's
file.
the init.wl coming from?
It's sitting next to the other two files. There's
Right,
three
it's
files.
either
in this
next to them
package.
or it's in the kernel.
No, I understand, but so
They're all in
context
the
of file
kernel
name
directory.
has the convention that's going to look for init.wl. Is that true?
Yes, and that's part of the reason it works easily to name the file
Right.
init.wl.
If you want to call it mycrazyname.wl, you can using Packlet Manager magic. But of course, the
Exactly.
default rule is that it will look for something called init.wl in one of 2 or 3 locations.
Okay, so that's the thing that when you say, so how do I initiate this package? What do I do?
You mean as a user of it,
Yeah.
you just call needs or get like you always do. You as a user couldn't care less how this package is implemented.
But the get has to be on what? On a file, on a directory?
No, on
No,
a
it's
context.
on the context.
Okay, fine.
It's just you just use get and needs on a context like you always have. You have not the slightest concern about how this package is implemented.
Okay.
There's no difference for you. So there's two files here. Public function is exported here from this file, and public function 2 is exported from this file, so they're going to be visible after it's loaded. I've got a shared function. It's declared here,
I can
right?
see.
There's the definition,
see,
and
right.
it's used here.
Okay,
so it's
so
used in this
package load, when you call package load, it goes and evaluates the things in package file 1 and package file 2, correct?
Yes, it does more than that, but it does that.
It scans the things, it preps everything, it puts everything in the right
Exactly.
context, it gets it all ready.
Right, and then it calls get on each.
Okay,
file.
so where would package import come into all of this?
Package import would be just like needs. If I needed to call some file, I would just say package import of music or something, right? If I wanted to use, it's just like I would use needs within a package file to bring in some other context.
But why is it a different function?
Because
because
happening at
it has
parse time,
features
not
beyond what
evaluation
needs
time.
does. It does things that needs doesn't do. It has different argument sequences that needs does.
Okay, but its role is to allow you within a modern package to pull in another package.
Right.
Correct?
Right. And Todd, am I correct in assuming that also part of the difference is that this is happening at sort of parse time, not at evaluation time like needs does? And so
Well, no, if you don't name a symbol, if you just say package import music, then it's literally needs. All right. There's nothing done at parse time in the first pass. It's just evaluates at the second pass.
Right.
Like,
okay, fine. But if
you name a symbol like this,
it'll just pull out that symbol.
Right. Well, yeah, it makes every other symbol non-visible in your package. Right.
well,
Okay.
but if it's just like needs, doesn't that mean that references below it will be in the wrong place?
No, that's because of the magic that happens in package load. Right?
Okay.
It does work fine. And it's not even that complicated trick that we use to do this, but it works fine too.
Okay.
Now if I use needs there, would that still work?
Yes, you can use
Okay.
needs.
Okay.
It's perfectly fine. You don't have
Can't
to
do the thing that's like Packlet symbol of diving into a particular symbol. right?
Right. Well, no, right. But this is, this is pretty different, but it is, if you want to do import by name, if you want to just specifically pull out, I only want to see the following symbols from this package, and all other ones should not be visible to me because they might conflict or something, then that's what you can
Yeah,
use
no,
that
no, I
as.
understand. But this
Yeah.
function, package import, the one argument form is just equivalent to needs. Is that a true statement?
Yes.
So we might not even need the one argument form.
We might not, but I think it's nice to just have package import.
Well,
as the
you
function.
think it's nice, but it's super confusing, right? Don't just say it's nice. I mean, it's obviously very confusing. So let's keep going. Let's look at the single file package feature.
All right, so this was one of the things that you
No, I
demanded,
remember.
the
I
single
remember.
file
It's got
package.
you got to have a thing where you can just send a package around. Oh,
So all you
God.
do is you put package
No.
load, which is the function that the loader function that normally sits in your loader file. You just make this file your loader file, right? But you do have to have an option that says single file package true. And that is what tells package load to not try to round up all the files around it. And also to do the 2-pass reading on this file, because normally the file that calls package load doesn't get the 2-pass treatment.
Well, so
But
how do
here
you,
say,
so if I say needs of this file, it'll see the first line in this file, and then it'll know that this is a thing that has to be 2-pass read. Is that
Exactly.
correct?
yes.
I'm not thrilled with this.
What don't you like about that?
It's a hack. Because it's having to open this file, and needs is, so you must have modified the code of needs to be able to.
No. It all happens in package load, right? Package load just executes here. And it says single file package true, then it just operates a little bit differently. It doesn't read any other files.
Okay, what's that my package backtick? Why does it even need that?
This is where you name that's the context that's going to be created, right? This is
Do we
the only
care?
place. What?
Do we care what that context is?
Well,
Yeah, because if I say needs my package,
No, but you're not going to be able to do that. You're going to have to say needs of whatever the file name is.
no. You say needs my package. Remember the mapping of the context in needs to this file, that happens completely outside of this. That's the packlet manager and the path system.
Okay,
That's
but
just a
so then
normal
it's
lookup.
renaming. You thought you were doing needs of foo, and instead you got a my package context.
Well, if
thing.
you said normally you wouldn't set it up so that if someone called needs of foo, that it would end up that your package load would use the context my package, right? That wouldn't be
right,
the
it
normal
would usually
thing.
be foo, right?
Yeah, it would be foo. And in
Right,
fact, if it
so-
wasn't foo, you're going to get a message from needs saying, I didn't create the package foo when you.
Okay, so then this syntax is kind of messy, right? Because what this really needs to say, I mean, forget the single file package, which I hate. What this needs to say is you're basically making a declaration that this file is a package.
Yeah,
right.
but
There's no difference.
that's
from a
exactly
package,
what you're doing
right?
here. That's what you're doing here too, right? That's what you're doing in the multi-file.
I don't
package.
agree with you. I mean, that one actually takes an action.
What do you mean it takes an action?
It looks at other files. It pulls
This
things
takes
together.
the exact same
No,
action.
but it doesn't
except
because it's only looking at this file.
fine, that's a modification. Of the
Well, I
action
don't
that
think it
takes.
is. I think it's really a slightly different thing.
But right, but you still are you disagreeing with the notion of having to declare that this is a package file? Because how is that from begin?
No, I'm not disagreeing with that. I just think this is a hackalola with a single file package and all this kind of thing. You know, I was in Scotland 2 days ago, experiencing many single file roads. Talking of single file packages.
But the thing is that you have to remember that you put this in a file for a multi-file package. And all we're doing is saying, if you want to have just one file,
with the design.
just add an option.
I don't agree with that design. I think it's a total hack.
Well,
that's not the right way to do it. Let's think about it a bit. Okay. I mean, no, it's
where's
a different
the package
thing.
load call happen?
Okay, if you put in a init.wl, if you put other commands into the init.wl file after package load of foo, what would happen?
They get evaluated. What happens is if you don't, this is if you don't say single file package true, right?
Yeah.
If you don't say single file package true, package load goes and rounds up all the other files and does the whole business with them and loads them, and then it continues to execute the commands in that file after the package load.
Okay,
Right, so
fine.
if you want initialization after load, which oftentimes you do,
You put it
Right.
after the package load.
and
Okay.
The package load doesn't have to be alone by itself in a file.
No, I
It's just-
understand. But this thing here, this second one, is much more like a package declare without single file package. This is just this file is going to be read specially because it's a package. I think.
We could change this design from package load single file package true to something like package declare.
Right.
We could do that. But then we
That's what
have
I'm
two
suggesting.
functions that are, package declare is just going to call package load.
I don't care. I don't
what
care.
about
I don't
what
care.
about, what about something like package load of automatic, which would create a package context based on the file name,
Yes.
and then you don't need the option.
I don't like that. I don't like that because then making a context out of the file name, your file name might not be named after the context.
Then you
It
have
probably is, but your file name
an error.
might be init.wl.
Okay. You know, might. I don't know. Okay. Package load of foo up above. What is the directory named foo or not?
No, the directory can be anything.
Okay, but
Doesn't-
will often be foo.
Correct.
Well, the directory is probably going to be kernel. Typically, you're going to have a kernel subdirectory. The parent directory might be named foo.
Okay, all right, fine. But then this package load just says, look around in my current directory.
Yeah.
Which
And also
optionally,
and all subdirectories.
yeah, I
'cause-
understand. But that foo could easily be defaulted. Right? That
It's
foo.
so ugly to default that foo
Why? Why?
because then
Why?
there's all these
It's no more
dependencies
hacky
on.
than context to file name. Right? It's got to do the same thing as context to file name. Just
Well,
outward.
context to file name has to exist. That drills down. Now we're saying we have to sort of drill up from where we are to find out where we are and figure out what package.
Well, no, I don't
should
agree
be
with
named.
you. I don't agree.
Yeah.
Look at what we did. We said needs of something.
Yeah.
So needs drilled down using context to file name. It knows what it looked at. You're just worried because it's a little bit tricky implementationally. But if you ignore the implementation trickiness, which is clearly well defined, you're just saying needs of something, and whatever that something was, that's what the default name of the package is. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, but the implementation issues there are
Not very great.
yeah, I mean, how do I? No, they're enormous. How do I can't know what
You modify the
needs
code of
call.
needs. You modify the code of needs so that when it finds an init.wl file, it calls that file setting some variable, $blah blah blah, to foo. And then package load picks up that variable and does something with it.
Can I,
that's
like,
a possibility.
when right now with the current implementation, when you do package load of foo, this thing looks at all the other files with the appropriate extension in the same folder, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I mean, just for the record, we have packages where the context name is different from the directory structure.
I know.
No, yeah, but okay, but let me just riff a little bit on this. Like, so like the default automatic behavior of package load foo is other files in the same directory. Whereas
Yep.
when you say single file package, it means just myself,
That's correct.
rest of this file. So could we imagine like a more general second argument to package load that said maybe instead of other files in the same directory said, look at this completely different directory. And so, and then
Yes,
we
you
invent a
can.
symbolic specification for both single file package and what it currently does. And we call what it currently does automatic, and single file package something like, I don't know, something else. And then you can provide a location. And it looks at that folder.
Right. It could,
Okay.
like null could be single file package. Goes
What-
to-
Yeah,
what?
null would be not unreasonable.
Ugh, I really don't like that's
No, it's not.
Right, but you've set the locations to nothingness, right? That's null, right?
That's
Or maybe
none.
none.
No,
Oh,
that's
not.
okay, no.
Fine.
null is
Right,
when you
right.
forget to type something. It's with a
Or
hand.
no. Null is when you type
Okay,
too much.
I like this
Added an
solution.
extra
Package load.
semicolon.
Okay, so hold on. Package load.
Let me sit down to type here.
Package load. None.
You're saying none, right?
And the default is automatic for the second argument, which means go forage in the current files.
Correct.
But it could also be, current directory. No,
Yes,
sorry,
that would be
not current,
equivalent.
another directory, sorry.
Right, which
Right.
would mean go forage in those.
Right. And that's already works, right? You can provide, as we'll see when we look at the docs, you can provide, there are ref pages. You'll see that you can point at another directory for package load. But that's only what you would do if you're a developer and you're tinkering. Your own code in your package, it's not going to point at another directory. It's going to, right? It's not.
Yeah,
Doesn't-
but Todd, I think this thing of having a second argument do that is better than having an option because it's way more fundamental of a change than what an option should do.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I don't
Right, so
mind.
Okay,
I don't mind none.
I'm
Or
okay with
something
this.
else as
Let's
the
go.
second
Let's go look at some of these other functions. Okay.
Well, I had some questions about names.
I know of these functions, right? These are the
Yeah.
functions we have to name. This is it. This is this is what we've got, right? There's nothing else, right?
Fine.
Is that
But I
correct,
also wanted-
or are there seven other
Yes,
functions?
no, there's option names.
Can I see them?
Okay, but can we talk first about the name of this feature itself? Because
No,
modern
I want to
package-
see show me the documentation page for package load. Okay, hold on.
none of these option names. I'm not wedded to any of these option names.
I think load first, load last. Don't we have some things for don't we have initialization value and things? Don't they have some things for doing this? Do you understand what I'm saying? Roman, can you speak to that, please? Doing things before, after, and so on.
No.
Value preprocessing function, that's a little different. It's a shame
Yeah,
because I've
that-
not been using these very much. Okay.
No, I mean, we have command line arguments for various expressions to evaluate at various stages of the kernel initialization. But
What are they?
Well,
what are
there's
those names? What
prologue
are
and
those names?
epilogue, right?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
right.
Wow.
okay, yes.
No, those are symbols, and
No, I understand, but
I'm just talking about as words.
Names
but
are
those are not command line arguments.
no,
Which-
I know. So
Yeah, well,
We're
yes.
cross purposes.
Well, but
We're
no,
trying to come.
you Arnaud cited these as examples of what Roman was talking about, and
yes,
it's
but they're
what
not.
was Roman was talking about.
Yeah, they're not what Roman was talking about. But they might be relevant as names here for these options.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry.
Okay. Can we see the other functions? Can we see the other documentation pages, please?
By the way, skip loading files is a verb.
Well,
it's-
I know. That's
it's
the one I
not-
like the least.
Those are not going to work. Okay, but let's just see what we have. Okay, so can I see?
This is package export.
Why do you still not remember that in the usage message, makes wouldn't have a capital M?
Fine. I haven't written a doc page in a long time, Steve. I thought I was doing the right thing, but you're right, of course. No, these things are all small letters. Thought I
Exports
had
multiple symbols. Exports multiple symbols.
Right.
Exports. Can you change it, please?
Yes. I'm going to change it.
Okay. Okay, I profoundly don't like this name, especially along with package import. I mean, let's understand what this is. Look at what it actually says. We cannot call it modern package format in the docs.
Well, that was one of the things that
was one of the
precisely
things.
what Todd wanted to discuss, and you said no.
Right. Okay.
The name won't wear well over the years, you know.
It really won't. I don't know. Encapsulated package format? I don't know. I'm not sure what the right word is.
Well, if we want to talk about the name of this feature, let's go back to the page that has some suggestions. Do you
Okay.
want to talk about that?
Yeah, but I want to talk about the names of these functions, but go back to the page. Yeah.
I liked simple package format and structured package format. Declarative package format is something that came about during the or before you showed up. That was a suggestion. I don't really like that, but I've written it down.
I think structured is pretty good.
That's simple. Yeah, I like both of those better than simple and structured, better than modern.
Better than what? Hell,
Better
yes.
than modern.
I don't really like simple because it suggests that. Well, or is it simple? I mean, is it?
It is. It's
Well,
really
it's
is much
simple.
simpler.
To quote Obi-Wan, it's simple from your own point of view.
Exactly. But it is the case that a file written in this format will have considerably fewer lines in it than a file written in other formats.
Yeah, I understand.
What about just Wolfram package format? If this is
It's a little too, I mean, in a sense, this is an alternative. It's not the only way to.
Well, maybe simple package format is the right name. I mean, the other way of doing it is more detailed, right? You can do more stuff in principle with having your own explicit begin package and so on. Is that true?
Right. That's
simple
true.
package. Okay.
However, you can put all those commands in. You can do all you want with begin package and package in a modern package format file if you want. You typically wouldn't have any reason to do it, but those things all work fine.
No, but is there more detailed control that you have in the old package format?
Well, only in the sense that you don't have to use it. You can use all the same stuff in the simple package format. You just don't have to. So it's, you can do everything that you did before, play with context all you like, but you don't have to. And
what about flexible package format? It's more versatile than the previous one we had.
Flexible is not bad.
I don't dislike that.
Write it down, please.
I'm going to.
For scoped package format, that's maybe wrong. But...
What's that?
What did you call it? What did you say?
Scoped.
Scoped package. Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Flexible is a nice marketing term.
Yeah, it is. Okay, let's go back to names of functions. Okay. So previously.
Do you want to look at a different page or what?
No, I want to look at this page at the top, which has a summary of the 4 functions. Okay. We've already got declare package, right? That's in the old package stuff, right?
Yes.
I think all these names are wrong. So let's think for a second, okay? This first one is kind of an indicator. What is the right thing? It's kind of the anchor of this is a package. Am I making sense? This is I mean, it's kind of like almost the package root. Does this make sense? I mean, it's the package.
Yes, it is sort of like the anchor of the package, but it's also, it's the active thing that goes out, rounds up, and loads.
Yeah, it's not the declaration like the others. It actually
No.
does stuff, right?
Yeah, it's not a declaration. It's the thing that actually goes and rounds up and loads all the files. It loads all of the files of the package. Quite literally.
Well, okay, so let's leave that name for now. Okay. What would be the name? This next one would be package exported symbol. Can you write that down, please?
Okay.
I like to use vertical bars to. Just put a vertical bar before that so we know it's an alternative.
Well, I'm not gonna forget.
Yeah, okay. No,
And
what are you doing?
presumably,
Okay. Package scoped. I'm sort of partial to just package exported. Because it's not a, as you say, it's not an action.
yeah, well, I already have that, I guess, but yeah,
Package exported, package scoped.
Yeah. Package exported.
Just
Scope.
get rid of the symbol name after the package scope. Just say package
Oh,
scoped.
you don't want to capture that anymore. You don't want to.
No, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Just put package.
That's what you're saying.
Yes,
Package
that's
exported
fine.
and package scoped. Just get rid of these things.
Okay, so what would the documentation say? Package exported of S defines S. It should say defines symbol to be an exported symbol from the current package.
I'm just gonna
Package exported defines S to be an exported symbol,
That's perfectly fine.
or specifies symbol to be a, but then it will be package exported.
I don't like defines, I think.
No, specified.
Specifies that symbol.
Yeah, that
specifies-
symbol should be an exported symbol from. Specifies that symbol should be. Right, so then change that, the initial thing to package exported. I think that's somewhat reasonable. It doesn't suggest that anything actually happens. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Do you understand
I
what I'm
don't.
saying?
Yeah, I don't object to these names. I've grown accustomed to the other names. There's one issue, which is I don't think you'll think it's too much of a problem, but we have a ton of files that use these symbols right now, the old symbols. And if
I
we
don't care.
keep them, they'll all just work with the modern package format.
Lovely. Just
We
don't
could-
document them.
We could still support them, right?
Yeah, just don't document them.
I can't support them because the package scope, because those are not system symbols, right? They're not system symbols. I'm defining a new
talking
set of
about?
system symbols.
Okay,
Package
Todd, listen. Reality check. If you're telling me we have done shitty design 15 years ago on this, and you're now saying, gosh golly, we've got to continue this design now, that's not going to be a winning argument.
Fine. I anticipated that you might not appreciate that argument.
I do not. Let's kill the argument. Now, can you make it still work with something that says package export? Well, maybe you should. I don't know.
I can't without, because those
Why?
symbols are not system symbols. They're going to come, if I read a file that has package export in it, that symbol, if it's not a system symbol, is just going to be in some private context.
Listen, I'm saying you could make a case, I do not like it, for having package export be an undocumented system symbol. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I do. And that would certainly work fine.
Okay, then we don't have to say there's a big problem. So
Fine.
you know,
I didn't expect that you would like that suggestion. But you do, to have
well,
an
we can't put it in
undocumented system
autocomplete or
symbol.
anything like that, right? You do
Right.
understand that, right?
Yeah.
It'll have to
yeah,
be
yeah.
blacklisted, and
Yeah.
I mean, we have mechanisms for that. If you don't know what they are, just, send.
I
send
don't,
your-
but I will ask you.
Yeah.
And then we
sure.
just deprecate it.
I
in the
don't
sense
like
that we-
this, I don't like this solution, but if you're telling me it's really, really important, we could do it.
It's not really, really important. It just
Then-
means
Then
that
we shouldn't do it.
we can't,
Then we
existing
shouldn't
new
do it.
package format symbols.
Then we
It's-
shouldn't do it. If it isn't really, really important, we shouldn't do it. It's going to cause trouble in some nasty way at some time in the future. Right, let's keep going. So we've got package scope, package exported, and now we've got the package import. Maybe it's package imported.
But it's not really right for that. And in fact, the fact that it's not similarly named accentuates the difference between this and the other two, which are declarations, right? This is like needs. Think of this as enhanced version of needs.
Okay.
It's an active thing that
Should it be called package needs? I
well,
don't like import because import has all of the crazy stuff with import is a function
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
that
I know.
imports,
yeah. Well, a name that I had thought for a while for this is package use.
package what?
Package
Use.
use.
Right.
Use, USE, package use. Because that
Use
is what you're
or
doing.
use
You're using a
package. Use
Yeah, but
package.
I like calling it package use because I don't like the verb noun thing. Should be noun verb.
Package needed. Oh, hold on 1 second, guys. Excuse me just a second.
Oh,
I'm
second
not gonna like
person.
package
Why are you
needed.
using second person? All right. I will edit that once you commit it.
Please, look, I wrote this, over the last couple of days, right? I'm sure that there's there's places where I'm not using parallel expressions and language and things. But
What about-
what specifically are you talking about, Itai? Which one?
That you can think of.
You
Oh,
can.
I know, maybe it's just me, but I think we generally
If
prefer
we don't,
not to use
every
second
time
person.
I know, every time I put the word you in, I think, is that,
Yeah.
but
Right.
I do have things like in your package because I'm kind of talking to developers.
Yeah.
Is that all right? To
Mm,
say your package as opposed to beginning a sentence with you?
well, maybe I should think about this a bit more.
But this is an improvement. Taking
Yeah.
you can out is fine. It's just wordy, pointless.
What about
Maybe that-
package
that-
require for the
Maybe
Package
that sentence
acquire.
shouldn't be the first one. Then it can be, the first one shouldn't say that it's something like,
Okay, did you guys come up with an idea here?
Well, we were just talking about some of the text. I don't like needed. I think package use is a fine name.
I don't. Could be package use. You don't know how to read it.
Hmm.
package needs is,
I mean, I never
mean-
thought that needs was such a great,
No,
great,
it's not.
and
Because needs is an active thing, and yet it seems like it's just a.
yeah.
So it is
I-
like needs, right?
It's identical to needs if it's only given one argument. Essentially identical to needs.
Right.
Does needs have more than one argument?
Yes. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think the second argument is very often used, but it does.
No, I've never seen it used in my life, but it does take a second.
What is it? What is it?
It's like a directory or a file or something, right? It's a file or something.
Yes, it's a file.
Can we look at it, please, for a second? Can you bring it up?
Yeah. File. So it just says, don't look up this context, just use that file.
Right. I see. So it's avoiding context to file name.
Exactly.
Right, which I suppose if we are willing to break backwards compatibility, because this is a pretty obscure feature, we could make that file a file if we wanted to continue to support this feature.
Let's not do that. I think this will have been used.
Okay.
I don't have a problem with package needs. That's
well, but why is it a different function from needs?
Because
it takes different arguments.
Right. Because the second argument allows you to. Right. I am a bit curious what it means that only certain symbols are visible in the current package. I mean, I don't know what that means. They're not in the system table, or they're in the system table, but I don't know what that means.
All it means is that if I say, I mean, here's an example down here. You guys might hate these examples, but because I have to create files. But here's an example where I call package import for a symbol, right? Mm-hmm. And then I use that symbol in my package, but I also use another symbol from that context. But that symbol resolves to a private symbol in my context. It's not the same symbol as the one in the music.
Right. So I don't think this name is right. I think what we should do is this, okay? If you want the one argument form, you should use needs. We should name the two argument form here, because that's the unique thing, right? So what we've got package exported, package scoped.
There's one other. Well, I guess that's not really true.
Okay, let's just figure out how to do this with the two argument thing. What should the two argument thing be called? It's something like package external symbols or something. Package needed symbols.
Yeah, but that's really long.
No,
but let me say there is one other thing though that's actually important here, which is that although package import behaves like needs with one argument, it's still something that's it's still a declaration in the sense that it's examined in the first pass.
Okay, I don't care. Does anybody care?
Well, the reason we might care is that you can't, again, you can't say, 1 plus package scope in your file, right?
Package
you can
scoped.
say one.
Scoped.
Forgive me if I end up
go ahead.
Back to the words I've been using for a year. You can say 1 plus package import, just like you could say 1 plus needs, right? And it will work. But you couldn't say 1 plus.
No, the two argument form, that won't work. What does the two argument form return?
It returns whatever just like needs, it returns whatever the last expression in the file was that you're loading.
Funky, which might have a bunch of hidden context material.
Who knows? I mean, it's the same thing that get returns. It's the last thing in a file.
Yeah, I understand, but do you understand what I just said? Because you're only exposing one symbol, it's squashing other symbols down into hidden contexts, right? So if the last thing in the file was something that didn't happen to refer to your favorite symbol, it would contain a bunch of private context things. What are those private contexts? What does it actually call them?
Wouldn't it contain the actual correct things? It's just that other instance. My understanding of what Todd said is that, all the symbols in the music context exist in the symbol table. And, if I typed music, backtick, whatever, I could use them. It's just that if I just typed major scale or whatever it was, that symbol, and I hadn't imported it on its own, it would parse to a private
That's
symbol
exactly
rather
correct.
than
Everything that you said is
Okay, but
exactly
what does that look like? That private symbol with all its contextification.
But
What does
that's
that
not
look
relevant.
like?
The point Itai's making is that if music returns some symbol from the music package out of needs, what's coming back is music backtick blah, right? It's not going to conflict. It's literally music. It's a symbol in the music context. It's not
Okay, but the ones that are
interfere with
exposed,
anything.
the ones that you are importing, what do they look like?
They're
Right.
still
And so-
music backtick blah, right? Every
Okay, so
file,
how
every
does it-
single symbol in the music context is
Okay,
in the
fine,
music
but how do those ones get successfully exposed?
So now you're asking me the implementation trick that makes this work. And it's,
I don't think I care unless somebody can see it at some point. If you
It's-
ask the context of those symbols, what will it be?
it's just, they're all the same context that they would before. Everything is,
Okay, so how is it made
all
to
the
work?
symbols in the music, they're in the symbol table. If you type music backtick
Yeah,
blah,
okay,
you get that
okay.
symbol.
Yeah,
It's just that if you type a short name, it won't resolve to the one in music.
I get it. Okay,
Okay.
how does that made to work?
Well, now you want to know how it works. Well, I have to, it's pretty simple. I have to kind of remember the details because I haven't,
Well,
dealt
I
with
just want to know whether
implementations
there's
for
any
months.
version of this that could get exposed to users.
No, I
Right,
don't
okay.
see. Yeah, there's no problems with this. It
But
works quite
okay,
clean.
but that's not what I'm asking. Okay, a lot of times I just saw that earlier today with the stuff in the error handling thing. Okay, where they're like, oh, it just works. Well, no, it doesn't. You look at what it actually returns in order to avoid this, sub-value holding business, and it's a great big, pure function with all kinds of crazy contexts inside it.
But I'm not.
But you're not doing that here. You don't have crazy contexts that
There's only
exist.
no. There's only the music context and your package's private context, and every symbol that's in the music context that
Okay,
should
right.
be in the
So
music
you're not
context is
using,
in the music
you're not
context.
doing a hack that depends on some internal other context that you invent. Correct? There's no possibility that if I say echo at some point in the middle, that I'll see some weird Todd special context. True or
That's
not
correct.
true?
That's
Okay.
true.
All right, fine.
So, so
There is a special context during the first pass, but that has nothing to do with the second evaluation pass.
So you
So
can't see it.
You can't see it.
What's it called?
It's called NPF temporary, NPF backtick temporary.
Okay, so that's got to be renamed depending on what we're going to
Fine,
call
but it's
this.
completely hidden thing. There's nothing.
I don't
it's
care
not-
that it's hidden.
no
We're going to rename it to
Fine.
whatever we're calling this, if it's
Sure.
SPF or whatever.
Right, absolutely. I would be happy to. I kind of like the SPF.
Yeah,
Anyways.
right. So it's like
it'll
some
protect us from UV in addition to
Exactly.
right.
It's
code.
the-
SPF 50.
So I have a question, Todd, because earlier you said, well, needs and package import are completely the same, and then
and you said that it wasn't the
oh, you
same.
said they're not.
I guess what I meant was that the evaluation behavior of needs and packaging, that literally, if you trace the code in package import for a one argument, it does a little, it just ends up doing nothing important and calling needs. It's the
Right.
first pass behavior of package import that's a little different than.
Well, but
needs.
then it's different, right?
Right.
Then it's
Yes,
different.
right. So let me make a concrete example. If I do, I have I do my load package of foo, and then I do package import of music, and then I do major scale underneath it. I would presume that major scale would be in the music context.
Yes,
Now, if I do load package of foo, and then I do needs of package import, and then I do major scale, what
needs of music. Yeah,
needs of music, and then I do major scale, what context is major scale in?
music.
Music. So, okay. So basically everything in the package is run twice. So if there's something side effecty, it'll be run twice.
No, everything in the package is only evaluated once.
First pass is a macro pass, effectively.
Right. So yeah. Well, okay. Maybe we're getting into the nitty-gritty of the implementation, but I'm just confused by that because right needs sort of is an evaluation time behavior, right? It's a dynamic context change. So I don't understand how the major scale can be in there unless you're telling me that the first that your parser is treating needs and as package import in that case.
I don't really understand your question.
All right.
Package import behaves just like, I mean, it literally just calls needs. So it's with one argument,
Okay.
Right. So if I do, right. So if I create a single, right. So here's my question. If I in a single input, whether in a single cell or with semicolons or in the command line, if I do, if I do, right. So if I have a single compound expression, which is needs of music backtick, comma, major scale, and I evaluate that, major scale is going to be in global because it was parsed and put in global before needs evaluated, right? So, you're telling me, right, you have this, you're doing this parsing scan and you're putting things in the right place, and somehow the needs works even though it hasn't evaluated is confusing to me. Maybe you don't. So do you at least understand the question, whether or not you have an answer?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, needs with package import with a list of symbols or a symbol is not just needs, right?
Right.
It's only package import with one argument that effectively is needs. But there's actually something else which I've kind of forgotten about because I don't know if it's even going to work. But there's another feature that package import supports or could support, which is this private loading thing, right? And so even package import with one argument, you can still support private loading of packages. And I don't really know whether I haven't mentioned private loading. I haven't even mentioned private loading in this because
what is private loading?
What private loading? Yeah, the idea is that
the second argument is an empty list, right?
No, it's what it means is that the package gets loaded into a private context that sometimes I could load, version 2 of a package. Even if version 1, I could privately load version 2 of some other package for my package, even if, version 1 has been loaded in the system, right? So we basically do a kind of a replacement of the context name with a private loaded name. So
but that's equivalent to what I just said. It's equivalent to the second argument being a null list here.
No, it's not at all.
No, it's not.
It's totally
because what Todd is describing is there are now two symbol table entries in two different contexts of the same package.
Yes.
Right. So you've somehow, right, you've loaded music and then you're like, oh, but this, you've loaded version 2 of music is loaded, but this package requires version 1. So version 1, so there's a,
oh, I see.
Crazy private context v1 music tempered scale in addition to music backtick tempered scale.
Well, how do we specify that? There's no, unlike needs, which has a second argument that gives the file name, this doesn't have a way to do that.
Well, I think the idea here, I can't even remember because I haven't thought about it because I don't know if it's really going to. There's a lot of packages are simply not going to work with private loading. But the idea is that this involves packlets, right? So when I call package import of music, I can say my packlet dependencies say I need version 1 of music. Right. And if version 1 is already loaded, then I don't need to do anything but call needs. But if version 2 has been loaded, then I will sort of
I got it. Can we come back to what we're actually doing in this function? So You know,
The only point I'm making is that package import as a sort of global function for all of this needsing stuff has some usefulness.
fair enough. The name is really terrible.
Great.
The name is
I'm happy
terrible
to change
because
it.
import means something completely different.
Fine. And so I'm perfectly fine with package needs, for example.
Yeah, but
I don't really like that. That's completely obscure. The most important thing is the two-argument form. True or not true?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, that's
yes.
true. So
Although
let's
it's the
name it
most
based on the
rare-
two-argument form, and we can have an elided one-argument form, which happens to do the same thing as needs, but you could equally well have said needs.
could we call it package symbols? I mean, that's perhaps a bit
No.
big.
No, okay, but let me just understand. Operationally, I don't really care about all the machinations. Operationally, if I say needs with one argument and I say package import with one argument, this will functionally be identical. True or not true?
True.
Okay, then we don't have to worry about. Okay, so let's name the two-argument version of this. Okay, so what is it doing? Like Packlet symbol.
Don't think it has
Yes.
any relation to package.
Yes, it does. Packlet symbol reaches into some packlet and gets out a symbol. This is reaching
No,
into some package.
It doesn't. Packlet symbol ensures that a packlet is loaded, puts it, but installs it in a private place so it won't
I'm
happen
well
in the
aware.
next session. And it doesn't do anything, and then it resolves to the symbol. Foo, my packlet back to blah or something, right?
Yes.
That's what it does. It doesn't.
But
pull out
operationally,
the
it's
definition.
achieving the same thing. Operationally, it's allowing you to take that whole packlet and say expose only one symbol from that packlet.
No, it doesn't do that. It doesn't. I mean, it gives you the symbol from the packlet, but it doesn't. All of the other symbols from the packlet are, the packlet gets loaded into the system. Needs gets called on the packlet context.
It
Okay,
gives
but
a persistent
the
way
thing
to
you've
refer to that symbol, irrespective of whether it's installed or not.
It's basically just it's a shortcut to make sure that you have that packlet on your system.
Yes, but not only that, it's also exposing that particular symbol as packlet symbol rather than you having to dive into these weird contexts, right?
Right, but it's
right.
not.
You don't have to call
but
needs.
It's not shielding, but it's not shielding you from all the other symbols.
It's not.
No, I understand that. I understand that, but it is functionally very similar because what you're doing here is you're saying, I want this one symbol from a package. I don't care about all the rest of it, right? Which is the same thing you're doing with packlet symbol.
It's saying don't make don't make those other ones easily visible.
Yeah, okay, that's right. But think about it. If I say I could say load the whole packlet and do needs on the packlet, and I get all the symbols from the packlet.
No, that's exactly what happens when you call a packlet symbol.
I understand, but the functional thing for a user, forget what happens under the hood. Yeah. For a user, the point about packlet symbol is it lets you get just this one symbol from the packlet without having to think about all the other stuff that's in the packlet.
No, it doesn't do that second thing. That's the whole point.
Yes, it does. The thing you have is the handle.
Stephen, yes, it does. Because if you happen to use the name of another symbol in the packlet in the next input line, it'll go to that one instead of being your own private symbol. Unlike.
But wait a minute. The other symbols in the packlet are underneath some kind of packlet context, right?
And that packlet context is
now on dollar context.
Well, I'm not even.
No, it's not.
That's.
No, it's not.
It's possible that the packlet context
is not. Context. It's not. It's not. If it was, it would be a bug.
Fine. So that in that sense, it might because it doesn't put the packlet's context on the context path, then it doesn't expose you to all of the other symbols in the packlet.
Right. Right. So that's my point. Okay, so let's look at this. Let me think.
You're right. It doesn't put it on dollar context.
Yeah, I better not. Okay. In any case, so what this is doing is it's reaching into another context, another package, and it's pulling out particular specified symbols.
Right, which is sort of where I was going with like package symbols, even though that's in other ways terrible name.
Yeah.
But it still doesn't do exactly the same thing because it declares that the symbol is now available. It doesn't give you that symbol.
Right. It doesn't return the symbol. But I understand Stephen's point. It does share that feature to Packlet symbol, but I don't know if anything in the naming of Packlet
Yeah,
symbols.
I agree. I'm not getting something from that, but I'm just trying to understand. By the way, for goodness sake, make sure there's a C also between package import and Packlet symbol.
Package access?
It's pretty obscure. Okay, what is it doing? Let's describe what it does.
You
The
want
two
Packlet
argument
symbol
form.
here, you said?
Yeah. Okay, let's describe what it does.
Package import.
Yes.
Two argument form of package import.
Yes. And you can't have the word loads as the first thing if it says if it's called package import. It's basically doing a package load. Why isn't it called package load?
But it's not doing a package load. Okay, fine.
Well, then why does it say the word loads here?
Because well, what's a good
Well-
word there?
Well,
it
it's
does
not-
it does load the other package.
Right, it
Called
doesn't load the
gates.
current
Specify.
package.
What?
Right, it's because we can't call it package load because package load is something else. Now, if we rename package load, I suppose this could be called package load.
Not sure it should be.
Yeah, but the good thing about needs though is that it seems to it does kind of suggest that it only does it when necessary. It doesn't
What is
load
that
it.
true?
Yeah, needs only if you keep calling needs.
I
it only
know,
loads the
I know, I
package
know
once.
what needs
I know you
does.
know
But
Fine.
does this behave the same way as needs or not?
Yes, it doesn't. If the context is already loaded, it calls needs, right?
I see. Okay, even in the
Right,
two
so
argument
it's-
form, it
so
calls
so
needs.
so here, let me ask frame it this way. So is package import of that fourth usage, is that basically just needs needs context goes to none, and then in the rest of the package file, whatever things those sims are then put into the context, named context rather than going private.
Honestly, I can't really remember the trick. I don't think I used context arrow none in when I called needs though. I round up all the symbols named and all the package import statements for that context in that file, because you can have multiple package import statements, if you want for the same context. I round them all up, and then I do the trickery that makes sure that only those symbols are visible from that package in yours. I can't compose a better explanation of what I do because I haven't thought about it in months.
Right, and I presume, maybe this is written in the notes, but I presume the two argument form only makes sense in a package and not in your normal main loop.
Right. In fact, there's one of the examples down here shows the error message you get if you no, that's not it. Oh, never mind. Yeah, if you call it, I do have to have an example for that.
Yeah.
If you call it with two arguments, like at the command line or something, it gives you a warning. It says, sorry, you can't do individual symbol import.
It's really bothering me. Package needs. It's concentrating on that second argument, which has nothing to do with needs.
Well, it has, well, right. But it does, it doesn't have nothing to do with needs.
It has nothing to do with needs. There's no way to get this behavior from needs.
Right, but it does behave. It calls needs internally.
Yes, there is. There absolutely is a way to get it with needs. You would, I could write a two-line function using needs.
Yeah. Obviously, you can get it using needs, but it's not doing the functionality of needs, so it shouldn't call it that. It should probably call it something with symbol.
But it does the same thing that needs does.
Oh, come on, look. It's the main, we're saying the two argument form is what we're naming. The two argument form is picking out particular symbols. That has absolutely nothing to do with needs.
It has
a lot to do with needs.
It does a
Okay,
little
but it's
context trick
doing
and calls
another
needs.
thing. It's doing something different. So let's
It's-
name the different thing that it's doing so people don't get confused.
Right. Well, that's why it's called package import, because it's, you're importing these symbols from another package into the current package. Now,
Right.
you don't like
So we could
import.
think of synonyms for import, for example.
No,
Or
no, wait a
or
second.
maybe if we called it package imported, I mean, it's a little passive.
No, I don't think that's quite right.
It's not a passive. It shouldn't be a passive name because it's.
Right.
We could just think of synonyms for import or something if we don't like import because it has other connotations.
Well, maybe import is the least horrible of these things. I mean, but for goodness sake, don't say loads the specified package.
Well, it does.
Okay, but so it's calling package load then, is it?
No, it's not
No.
calling package. Look, the
Right.
word load,
gets
just
the
because
specified package.
it doesn't get. I could put get, but it's more like fine. I could say, but I mean to say get, yeah, whatever.
No, I'm not sure that's right either, but loads is wrong because it's actually a needs operation, which doesn't re-get it if it's already there.
Right. Well, what is the?
What does
curious
needs
the-
say?
Yeah.
Okay, loads.
Needs says loads an appropriate file.
We're seeing it on the screen.
So it does use the word load, but it specifically mentions about only if it's not
Yeah,
on dollar
right.
context.
But also,
Like-
okay.
So I can put that in there.
Yeah, okay. Package import symbols.
Right. I mean, we could add I mean, I suppose this is technically leading, disallowing somebody of creating their own package symbol named all, right? But we could make a 2-argument form that's equivalent to the 1-argument form with a second argument of all, right?
Yes,
Make
we
all
could.
of the things, and then, we just say, right, maybe we own the main usage, we only list like symbol and all, and then in the note we say,
That's fine.
an
But
argument
as long as
form
we
is-
list the 2-argument form first.
yeah.
Okay.
So
So then the documentation would say imports the specified symbol, the definition of the specified symbol. No, imports. See, this is wrong. What it does is it makes available the definition of symbol using context, right? That's what it's doing.
No.
Yes.
I mean, I think, well, depends on what you mean by using context, right?
Well, I mean,
It's placing it in, it's making it available without actually using context, right?
well, no, but it's loading in context. If it
Right,
knows-
it's loading context, but right, it's not.
Right, but the
but-
main point is it's making symbol available,
right,
right?
right, without.
By the mechanism of using this context thing.
I don't know what you mean by
But
the mechanism of using.
technically, it's the other way around, right? A normal needs makes all the symbols available,
know.
and this package import makes only
Yes, I
the
know.
listed symbols, but it loads everything. And
So what? They're not visible. As Todd has been explaining, those other symbols are made to disappear so that they don't show up as actual symbols that could conflict with other things. Right, Todd?
yes,
Okay, so
I mean, that's a somewhat sloppy statement, but right, they still
Okay.
exist as symbols. They're just
yes.
not.
We,
You just
Okay,
can't refer
okay,
to
okay,
them
okay.
without the full
I've got a
context.
suggestion. Maybe the arguments are in the wrong order to begin with. In other words, you say, I want these symbols. By the way, this is where they come from.
I don't like that at all because the first thing is the context. This is like, go get this context. Oh, and by the way, I only want the following symbols from.
Okay, well, all right, fine. But then this thing is make available the definition. Can you write that down? Make available the definition. Can you write that somewhere in the other file?
Fine. I'm writing. I've been writing stuff on a piece of paper because I can't type as fast as I can write.
Okay.
Makes available. I got make symbols available. Make
Makes
available
symbol from context in the current package. Right? Makes available the specified symbol from this context in the current package.
Got that written down.
Okay, so now how do we name that?
Now the third line here describes exactly what it's doing, right? It loads the specified package just like normal, but makes only the given symbol.
It doesn't load the package. It doesn't load it.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Let's
need.
load it.
It doesn't
Everything-
needs, which doesn't necessarily load it.
Okay, fine.
Fine. However, right. I mean, I could put, we could put like
No,
if
no,
the
no. But we're trying to name the function, right?
well, we were talking just now about the text
Yeah,
underneath.
I agree, but we're trying to name the function.
Yeah.
It makes available a symbol from a given context in the current package.
How about needs symbols?
That's pretty good.
No, it's extremely obscure. Think about the parts of speech. Package needs symbols. You
No, he
know,
was just saying
horse
needs.
needs water.
It's just it's kind of like needs, but symbols specified. Needs symbols.
No, you're trying to make needs adjectival and it's not going to work.
Symbol needs.
Yeah, but that is like not plural. So what if there are several symbols?
I don't know.
Package needed symbols, but I think that that's too declarative.
Yeah. Okay.
Package import symbols, maybe. I don't know.
Right. And that came up earlier. Package import symbols.
Okay, let's review what's wrong with package import. Number one, conflicts with the import function. Tell me what the
Package penetrate. I'm using the thesaurus.
no way.
We're not going with that.
Package barge in. Okay.
Are you looking at synonyms for import?
I'm looking at synonyms for access because import, it didn't actually give, it only gave, the thesaurus only gave synonyms for like import as in important, not as in import export, which was very disappointing.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to go soon, but let's look. I mean, okay, so I think the least bad so far is probably package import. Can we look at the options for that for package load?
Yeah, in fact, these are the ones that I'm least, have no.
What about provide?
Well,
I mean, it's long, but what seriously? What about package provide symbols?
No, because the package is not providing them.
What about
Package
something?
provision symbols?
I don't like the word provision. I have no idea what that means.
What about
No,
bind?
this is too declarative. I mean, the main point is still that it loads or needs a package, right?
Guys, Stephen just said a minute ago, I guess the least bad of these is package import. And I'm
Yeah.
happy to leave it at that. Let's
right.
let's move on, okay?
All right. That second line is not called by user or package, is not similar to needs or get. That is such an unbelievably unhelpful.
I just want people, because everyone gets confused about this function.
Well, yeah, but then you got to
They're
work out
thinking
how
that
to
it's
say it.
like it somehow goes out and gets something, and it's not that. It's not like needs or get. And so it's sort of, I just want to make sure that people understand that distinction. I have no, love for any of the
Okay, but I
words
mean, that's a crazy thing to say. I mean, what
it's
is the
definitely not
difference?
called
Why
by
is
users of a package. It's not called by users. If that's what you're talking about as being crazy, that's the
no?
true
But what do you
statement.
mean by not called by users of a package? What is
If I write a package and give it to the world, no one will ever call package load on that.
Yeah, okay. Well, maybe it's the wrong name.
Package start.
Package provision.
That's, I hate the word provision because I don't have any idea what it means.
Well, it's
It means
become a very
anything-
standard word in systems stuff.
Yeah, it means anything you want it to mean, basically.
No, it means get it ready.
I don't know. It's just, to me, that's a very vague term that's used in lots of different ways to mean variants of that. It's just,
Yeah, but okay, but this.
Yeah, I mean, to me, provision means, send out to the troops, right?
Okay. Well, then what? Okay, then what?
we can't,
I don't. Yeah, go ahead.
Package
it
setup,
literally loads the files of the package.
package setup.
Right.
Package
Package
setup
load
is not
exactly
crazy.
what
It
it does
expresses the
when it's
same concept.
evaluated in the context of the package, but it's not called. But consumers of the package don't call it, at least not directly.
Okay, what about package setup?
It indicates that it's, doing a bunch of stuff behind the scenes, right? Like including loading and other stuff.
Package install?
Definitely not install. I do not hate package setup. That's my second after package load, my number 2 choice
Okay,
so far.
What about bind?
I hate,
comprehensible.
it sounds like some computer
Like
science.
a book. Package configure?
But it's really, even though it's almost a synonym for setup, it's not really. That sounds like we're not configuring a package. We're,
Making it happen.
yeah, package make happen. Honestly.
Package ICANN has, if we're going for a very silly.
I still think package load is the right.
I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I think it's completely confusing. By the time you have to have a line like package load is not called by users of a package because everybody thinks it is because its name is that. If it's called package setup, nobody is going to have that confusion.
And I guess the U in package setup is capitalized. It's the 2 words set up.
No, I don't think so. I think setup is a single. It's not. That's a.
Well,
that's
I
a
mean,
one.
setup is either an imperative verb or it's a noun. If you want it to be an imperative verb, it better be package set up. I don't think we use setup anywhere else, do we?
I
No,
could search for setup, but I don't think that's going to return anything. Is
yeah, I don't think so either. I think
like as a single word.
we have system backtick Macintosh system page setup. I have no idea. Maybe that's some front end thing.
It's a lot of sort of used as a synonym for configuration.
Yeah.
We have
But
setup
again,
compiled code
these,
function, all with the lowercase u. Everything is with lowercase u, so we
Right,
have
yeah.
to stick to that.
Todd, how do you feel about package initialize?
that's been posed before. I don't hate that. It's similar to package setup. But is it? It's more than initialize, though. I mean, it does everything.
use
It's not like it does the
activate.
first part.
Yeah. Package construct. Only half kidding.
Package startup.
That sounds like something else.
Ridiculous.
Startup.
Okay, so package initialize. Let's see. I would think package initialize is fairly nice.
Right.
Looks
I
for a
don't think
package
think we would even have to change I mean, it would. I don't think we would have to change the usage line, right?
Right. That first note is just incomprehensible.
Yeah. Well, I
Just
invite. I'm
incomprehensible.
happy for people to give me alternative verbiage because you have to sort of describe how it does that. It does what it says there. If someone can think of a better way to say that, I'm
Right.
happy.
Well, it
Because-
should probably be something like and loads the file surrounding the initialization file or something.
No, but no, I'm talking about the first line of the notes.
Oh, the first line
Oh,
of the notes.
this.
That's just incomprehensible.
I see.
Load their own
Right. Well,
package.
right. It's there to contrast with the next line.
Yes.
Just
exactly.
hopelessly
It's-
incomprehensible.
Right.
It's
Right.
the-
Well, right. It's right. Right. It's trying to say that it's not part of normal shift enter evaluation.
yeah, it's like
No,
the idea
I
is that most
understand,
users
but-
will leave this page, don't need to look at this page because they're not writing
Yeah,
back.
all right, okay, but it's incomprehensible. So hold on. It'd be nice to give it a name that indicates that it's a weird non-evaluation thing. Something very exotic.
Package load, but package load,
No,
Is-
it's not exotic. It sounds just like it's doing a standard evaluation time thing. But it's
but it
not.
is. Package load is a pure evaluation time thing in terms of what it loads
No, it's
other
not.
files in a weird way, but
not.
it's not, itself is not a declaration. It's an evaluation.
I know that. But it's an evaluation. Okay, whatever.
Who cares? You don't need to care what it does, how it operates internally. It loads your package. Package initialize is not a bad name. If people hate package load, I don't know why, but if people don't like that, I can live with package
Well,
initialize.
those first two notes there must be removed. So replace them with something which is not incomprehensible. See, the whole point is that this is, as you say, it's not an end user thing, right?
Right?
So how do we indicate in the name that it's not an end user thing? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I
So
understand.
nobody
that.
ever gets confused.
But package initialize does have that feature that no one would necessarily think, oh, that's what I'll use to
Yes,
load some
that's
other
right.
package.
It's a very good feature of it. I think package initialize is decent because it removes that confusion. Initializes the specified package by creating this context to give definitions or something. Does that make sense?
Not really.
What?
I didn't think that really made any sense, but we can worry about the package initialize. Right now, I'm really trying to get down the function names. Is that what this is going to be called? Package initialize from now on?
I think that's the best name got.
So we have package initialize. Do we have?
I mean, if we want to consider a few synonyms, I find activate
I thought of activate, yeah.
and initiate.
I think
I think initialize is better than either of those.
Yeah, any other ones?
Yeah, because what does it need to activate the package?
The generate, I don't like.
No.
I
mean, it's really bring the thing to life.
Yes.
It's very similar to provision, I have to say.
Yeah, but provision is usually for something that wasn't there, and then you just get it there. Like absent package that was downloaded from somewhere.
You're gonna have to fire me to get me to go with provision, okay?
You don't like provision.
I don't like provision.
Yeah, and I don't like it here either.
Okay.
Right, and we use provision and other functions for things we send out to other places.
Yeah, right. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm convinced.
So package initialize, is that our working?
I think so.
Okay.
Where else do we use the term initialize?
Initialize itself, I'm not sure we've used.
I have initialization value and things like that.
Yeah, we have.
All right, let's look at the options for package initialize. My God.
There's a bunch, but that's because this is you have to give. This does everything, so you have to
Can
have
I make
some
a
control
suggestion?
over how.
Maybe we should have an association rather than all these options. If we think there are going to be yet more weird things here.
I don't think there's any more, other than maybe we'll decide on one. The thing is that right now there's already some undocumented string options for this that are intended for like internal users. And
why don't we use an association then?
Right, using an association would solve that problem.
Right, and then you just have this big block of stuff. Okay, so let's look at these things, if they're keys. God, extra public contexts.
This is, no one should ever use this. Okay, it's evil.
And let's not have it.
Yeah, but the thing is that if we don't have it, we take away a feature of begin package, right? This is like the second argument of begin package.
Okay.
Which is evil.
Ordering of files to load. I see.
Is it really alphabetic, or is it like alphabetic as determined by your operating system?
It's alphabetic as determined by our alphabetic sort function.
Okay.
I would call that load ordering.
Load ordering function.
Well, but maybe just load ordering.
It is a function.
Yeah, I understand. Well, these are keys. Maybe it can be slightly longer. Maybe file ordering function is okay.
Because we got file in all the other names. Nor files load first, load last.
How could hidden imports be? I love the way it's called hidden imports. And then it says other packages should be visible, as in not hidden, within all files of your package.
Right, but then they're not visible after you've loaded it, is the point. Which, yes, I agree that perhaps we need a better.
Right. I mean, that expression, I don't know, did Roman coin that 30 years ago or something?
What?
Yeah, I mean, hidden import is you import something inside the package, but it doesn't stay in the context path, right? That's the way you should do it, not with the public context.
Right.
So this is an expression that we've used for years, and that is what it does. This is like
but look, extra public context, hidden imports. I mean,
if we could have string options, that would be great.
Well, why don't we think about this as an association and keys in the association, okay?
Okay.
Why don't we think about that and then
If they're keys in association, then right, I mean, the names are a little less important.
first loaded files? Preload. Preloaded files, post-loaded files.
The thing is that post, it's like after what? It's just after all the other files. It's not like after some thing has, I mean, post
Well,
loaded.
this is a file ordering, isn't it? The whole thing is a file ordering. Well,
It's
I don't
all about file ordering.
I don't know what wins.
Well, you wouldn't use, you could use load first and load last together. File ordering function is
Okay,
going to
can I
apply to the
suggest-
non-load first or load
Okay,
last
can I
files.
suggest we could have a sub-association? It could be file ordering, and then it could say one key could be ordering function. Another could be first files. The other could be last files. File load ordering, and then a sub-association with the things I just said.
So load, what was the load first? And
No, I
load
think
last?
Yeah. What did I say? Somebody here paying attention. What did we just say? Should we ask the AI assistant that's been listening what we just said?
Yeah, how's that work?
Don't know.
Is that gonna work?
I have no idea.
I don't even know how to do that.
Oh. Asking questions the AI companion is disabled for this meeting. Great. Okay. Well, that's my suggestion anyway, that goes into. And then we could put, okay, file loading. Say file loading. Oh God.
But it's all about.
No, wait a second. Files to completely ignore. Okay, can we please think about this in terms of an association and just making these a bit more explicit? Because this is really obscure.
Yeah, especially, I mean, the difference between skip loading files and ignore files is pretty subtle, right? There's reasons you would want to completely ignore files, obviously, and there's reasons you might want to let files be parsed in the first pass, but not evaluated in the second pass. That's kind of obscure.
Yeah, but maybe we can clarify that, but not this way. All right, I need to run off.
Right. But did we decide on structured package format?
I thought we decided on simple package format. Is somebody paying attention here?
Yeah,
Gonsalvo?
I mean, I wrote structured package format.
Yeah, I thought
think
we decided on structured too.
That's what we decided on. But
I think a better
wrote that
marketing name is simple package format.
But doesn't that suggest that it's only for toy examples and
right.
not for
You're
real
right,
developers?
You're right.
Well, I had
I
suggested
think that's a good point.
flexible package format.
I don't like flexible package format because it does.
Because in
I
fact,
think
it's less flexible. Well, depending
No,
on
it's
your
actually
view.
more flexible, but it is more flexible. But I don't know if that's structured package format. I think kind of expresses that these packages do have a certain structure and that you have to adhere to. And I kind of like structured package format if we can. All right. And we got package initialized, we got structured package format, we got package exported, and we have package scoped with the
Yes.
other name decisions.
Yes.
package
I'm thinking
exported,
about
and
package initialize for a second. What's that?
No, it's just
I think this is right. All right. Okay, so we've got those things to associationize.
right. We got associationizing, and that can be done as sort of a docs review, a final docs review, because
Yeah, fine.
they're just string.
All right, this will be very nice to have.
Yep, it's good to have it finally in the system.
Do you want to bring it back one more time, or you're good, right? No, you got all the names, and just we
I
can
think
take
we
it from
can do
here.
a brief review.
We can
Yeah.
do it. Yeah, I'd be happy to have a brief review of the docs.
30
As you
minutes,
can see,
hopefully.
I screw them up.
What?
Okay, great.
Can see what?
I said, as you can see, I screw them up.
Mhm.
Obviously, we'll need a little final review.
Yeah,
Docs.
I mean, you should work with somebody to try and get things like hidden imports, symbols that are visible. You know, that's really not good.
Yeah.
But
But they won't have symbol. They won't. I mean, are they gonna? I guess they'll show up in the doc page.
it's okay. It's okay. We just try and make that an association. I think you'll find it's easier to name things. All right.
Okay, great.
Okay. Talk
Thanks,
to you
everybody.
soon.